Hey friends, I am Hey friends, I am so excited that you are here. My name is Brianca Kirkman, and I am a personal brand and marketing consultant. I have literally never gone live before. This is my first time. But today we're going to talk about three signs that you are actually ready to pivot into coaching or consulting. So, if that is something that you're interested in, then I encourage you to stay until the end. Um, People who stay until the end, they're going to be entered into a raffle where you are going to be able to receive a free ticket to my leverage 3-day challenge. And basically what this challenge is going to do, it's going to help you think about what skills and expertise you have that could be monetized, and it's going to help you create that offer and create a list of warm leads so that way you can begin pitching your offer in just 3 days. So if that is of interest to you, then make sure you stay until the end. I will share the link. And also, if you are interested in pivoting into coaching or consultant, make sure that you download my free pivot plan. Um, it comes with a link to a free 4-part private podcast that will help you kind of think about like what am I good at? What could I leverage to make money from? So if that is of interest to you, then make sure you click that link and download it. Okay, so I if you don't know me, I used to work as a digital director. I've actually worked in marketing for maybe like the last hold on, my 32. So for the last like 12 to 13 years, I've worked in every role in marketing that you can think of, from copywriter, graphic designer, web designer, digital director, and the full lot in between. And since working in um since working in corporate, um a lot of things. When I worked in corporate, I kind of just tried to do everything right. I climbed the corporate ladder. I moved across the country to work as a digital director. I would, work in a job, and then I would get overwhelmed or I would hate it. And then I would like pivot and I would go and, apply for another job. And while I was doing that, I realized that like no matter what I did, I would always kind of like the job for a period of time, and then once that was done, once that period of time had like kind of come about, then I would be back to a place where I was like unhappy and kind of ready to do something else. I ultimately like wasn't fulfilled, and I had to realize that, but it took me a while to get to that point. And so in my work, I work with a lot of women who are pivoting from working in corporate to wanting to grow, their own business on the side and wanting to serve more people and make more money. And I've kind of seen a trend of like common signs that you are ready to pivot. You're ready to create something on your own. And one of the things that might honestly be holding you back, and I actually had a podcast today and I talked about it. I talked about how sometimes we have been taught to like be grateful when we receive a job that other people would consider to be a good job. And when we are unfulfilled by that job or unhappy in that work, then we feel a little guilt or shame. And honestly, like that guilt and that shame is like the first indication that you probably want to be doing something else. And sometimes we think that that feeling means like I need to apply for another job or I need to get a promotion. And that, is available to you as well. But a lot of times, like what I have seen is that you're actually like craving more autonomy. You're craving more um, just like control over your life and your vision and what it is that you want to be building. You might not necessarily know like how to get from I work in corporate and this is what I've spent my entire life and career doing to actually running your own, consultancy or running your own coaching business or whatever it is that you want to do, right? But there's like a longing there for more white space on your calendar, for greater opportunities, for more notoriety, for more purpose and fun, fulfillment in the work that you do. And I think that sometimes we think that when we pivot into entrepreneurship is because we just like hate our job or we hate corporate or we hate being managed. And most of the time, it's not even that. It's more so like this yearning for something more impactful. Um, and when you have that, it's like you want to serve more people. You want to help them realize, whatever transformation you provide on a grander or a greater scale. And so when you are provided the opportunity to do that, then you start to see like, oh, I'm so much happier on the inside. I'm having more fun in my work. I'm connecting with, the people that I work with on a deeper, more meaningful level. And so I would say that like the sign that the number one sign is that like you're no longer fulfilled, right? You might be functioning in your work, you're probably doing a good job, you're getting the raises, you're getting the promotions, you might be getting the bonuses, but on the inside of you, there is a longing, there is a yearning for more impact, to work with more people, to whatever that looks like for you. And so if that's you, then like I would say like that's probably the first sign that you're ready to pivot. Another one, another sign I would say that comes when you're like, "Ah, I think I want to do this. I think I want to start this business is people start actually asking you for your opinion, for strategies, for insights, for help with the kind of problems that you want to solve. They're already reaching out to you, they're mentioning your name in rooms. You're having to kind of like negotiate your ability to help them because you want to be mindful of the work that you're already doing in corporate and the role that you're already playing, but you also are kind of excited and intrigued by the idea of being able to help other people in a new way. And when you start to see that happening, basically what you're seeing is that people are kind of already connecting you to a desired transformation. They're already like seeing you as someone who can deliver the result or deliver the impact. And so that's a really good indication that your work, your body of work, your relationships, your network, your connections, these things are kind of like working for you and working with you to like build a momentum, which you need in order to start a consultancy and start a coaching business. And so when you kind of like start seeing that happen, then it's an indication that people are kind of, they already got their eyes on you, so I would say, like, just to reiterate, right? If you are already feeling unfulfilled, you're feeling purposelessness, you're seeing that people are coming to you and they're looking for your help, they're seeking answers from you, they're seeking support from you. And if honestly you just want more impact, right? You want to be able to serve more people. You kind of have your own thoughts and opinions and strategies on how it might be done and how you could do things better. You're starting to like see opportunities where you could fill in those gaps with your skills and your expertise. And so when you see that happening and you're starting to kind of like put it together in your brain that, hey, I could do this better. I could serve more people. I could get them a greater result. I could, you know, put these steps in place or this framework in place, and I could help them get from here to there, then that's also a sign that it might be time for you to pivot. And a lot of the times, the thing that keeps us stuck in actually not pivoting and not proceeding forward with wanting to start or grow our consultancy business or our coaching business is like this crippling fear that you're going to lose your stability, that it has to be all or nothing. I either have to give this corporate job 100% or I have to give this business 100%. There's no way that I can do both. And that's just not the truth, right? You get to actually take your skills and your expertise and cultivate them in your consultancy alongside your corporate role, if that's what you decide to do. There's so many women that I work with who they actually do build their consultancy businesses or their coaching businesses while they're working in corporate, and they leverage the connections and the relationships from their corporate jobs in order to grow their consultancy businesses. That's one of the things that I did, and that's one of the strategies that I teach inside of my program, Brand You Consultant Institute. I teach you how to create a database of warm leads. I teach you how to network with them and pitch them and be able to like kind of like leverage that to get your foot into the door of corporate consulting. And so it doesn't have to be either or. In fact, it would be doing you a disservice to not leverage the networks and the connections that you have. Many of us are multidimensional. We're a part of sororities, we're a part of leadership organizations, educational organizations, churches, communities, networks, all these things that we have access to. And so you want to be able to strategically tap into those to grow that consultancy business, and you want to be able to speak to the work that you've already done in your career as proof that what you are going to be doing in your consultancy business you can actually do because you've already done it before. And so it's not necessarily about starting from scratch. It's about leveraging what you already have and capitalizing on that, so that way your pivot, your transition into running your consultancy business or running a coaching business can be much smoother. And so that's one of the things that I think is so important when you are getting that pull and you are starting to feel like, I kind of want to pivot. A lot of times people think like, I got to burn everything down. I got to throw the baby out with the bathwater, but you actually don't have to do that. There are ways that you can leverage everything that you have, leverage all your skills, all your expertise, all your networks, all your connections in order to build your business on a solid foundation in your own time. One of the things that I talk about all the time when it comes to building these businesses is that I want to teach you how to do it in just 90 minutes a day, because a lot of the people that I work with, they are women they have multiple roles. They might be moms, they might be caretakers, sisters, brothers, all the full lot of responsibility. And so they don't have a lot of time to dedicate to this business on top of everything else that they have to do. And so it's like, I want to teach you, how can I grow this business? How can I make it successful in just 90 minutes a day? Like if that's all I have, how can I do that? And so if you are having that pull, and you know that you're interested in growing a consultancy business or growing a coaching business, I encourage you to start with the pivot plan, because it's going to give you insight into what your offer could be and how you could make that smooth pivot. But then number two, what I would also encourage you to do is to start to watch my YouTube videos, follow my channel, subscribe to it. There's so many strategies that I've already shared and that I will continue to share about how you can grow your marketing, your consulting business in just 90 minutes a day. And so if that's of interest to you, then leave me a comment and let me know. I will be hosting a 3-day challenge called Leverage in the coming weeks. And so if you comment Leverage under this post, I'll make sure to send you the link. And then I'll also enter you into a drawing so that way you can receive a free ticket to the challenge. So if that's you and that's exciting, then let me know. I cannot wait to hear from you. And I hope you have a great day. Bye.